My name is Alan, and we are back with more in the Buddha's words. And today we'll be finishing off chapter 9. But before we get into that, I do want to go ahead and let you know if you do so wish to support me or donate to the channel to help the channel grow. There are two ways to do so. I have a Patreon account, which is a monthly, month-to-month donation system. And I have a Ko-fi account, which can do much the same, but allows you to also make single one-time donations. If you are in financial difficulty or donating would put you there, please do not donate. Take care of what you need to take care of. It's tough enough on everybody right now, especially with the idiots in charge. However, if you are in good financial shape and you are able to financially donate without it stressing you, and you wish to donate, thank you. I appreciate it. I really do. It's me, myself, and I do all the research, filming, editing, posting, all that good stuff. And I've currently sworn off commercials as a personal choice, and I make no money from the videos as of yet. With all that said, let's go ahead and jump into the book. Like I said, we got 3 pieces left for chapter 9. So with that said, let's do this. Part 4, The Unborn. Thus have I heard, at one time the Blessed One was dwelling at Savatthi in Jedda's Grove, Anathapindika's park. Now on that occasion the Blessed One was instructing, rousing, inspiring, and gladdening the monks with a Dhamma talk connected with Nibbana, and the monks were receptive and attentive, concentrating their whole mind intent to listening to the Dhamma. Then, on realizing its significance, the Blessed One on that occasion uttered the inspired utterance. There is, monks, an unborn, unbecome, unmade, unconditioned. If, monks, there were no unborn, unbecome, unmade, unconditioned, no escape would be discerned from what is born, become, made, conditioned. But because there is an unborn, unbecome, unmade, unconditioned, there is an escape from, is discerned from what is born, become, made, or conditioned. Section 5. The 2 Nibbana elements. There are, monks, 2 Nibbana elements. What are the 2? The Nibbana element with residue remaining and the non-Nibbana element without residue remaining. And what, monks, is the Nibbana element with residue remaining? Here a monk is an arahant, one whose taints are destroyed, who has lived the holy life, done what had to be done, laid down the burden, reached his own goal, utterly destroyed the fetters of existence, one completely liberated through final knowledge. However, his 5 sense faculties remain unimpaired, by which he still experiences what is agreeable and disagreeable, still feels pleasure and pain. It is the destruction of lust, hatred, delusion, in him that is called the Nibbana element with residue remaining. And what, monks, is the Nibbana element without residue remaining? Here a monk is an arahant, one whose taints are destroyed, who has lived the holy life, done what had to be done, laid down the burden, reached his own goal, utterly destroyed the fetters of existence, one completely liberated through final knowledge. For him, here in this very life, all that is felt, not being delighted in, will become cool right here. That, monks, is called Nibbana element without residue remaining. These, monks, are the two Nibbana elements. And part 6, the fire and the ocean. The wonder of Tathagata asks the Blessed One, then does Master Gautama hold any speculative view at all? Vaksha. Speculative view is something that the Tathagata has put away. For the Tathagata, Vaksha, has seen this. Such is form, such its origin, such its passing away, such is feeling. Such its origin, such its passing away, such is perception. Such its origin, such its passing away. Such are volitional formations, such their origin, such their passing away. Such is consciousness, such its origin, such its passing away. Therefore, I say, with the destruction, fading away, cessation, giving up, and relinquishing of all conceiving, all rumination, all I-making, mind-making, and the underlying tendency to conceit, the Tathagata is liberated through not clinging. When a monk's mind is liberated thus, Master Gautama, where is he reborn after death? He is reborn does not apply, Vaksha. Then he is not reborn, Master Gautama? Is not reborn does not apply, Vaksha. Then he both is reborn and is not reborn, Master Gautama? Both is reborn and is not reborn does not apply, Vaksha. Then he neither is reborn nor is not reborn, Master Gautama? Neither is reborn nor is not reborn does not apply, Vaksha. When Master Gautama is asked these 4 questions, he replies, is reborn does not apply, Vaksha. Is not reborn does not apply, Vaksha. Both is reborn and is not reborn does not apply, Vaksha. Neither is reborn nor is not reborn does not apply, Vaksha. Here I have fallen into bewilderment, Master Gautama. Here I have fallen into the confusion, and the measure of confidence I had gained through previous conversation with Master Gautama has now disappeared. It is enough to cause you bewilderment, Vaksha, enough to cause you confusion. For this Dhamma, Vaksha, is profound, hard to see and hard to understand, peaceful and sublime, unattainable by mere reasoning, subtle to be experienced by the wise. It is hard for you to understand it when you hold another view, accept another teaching, approve of another teaching, pursue a different training, and follow a different teacher. So I shall question you about this in return, Vaksha. Answer as you choose. What do you think, Vaksha? Suppose a fire were burning before you. Would you know this fire is burning before me? I would, Master Gautama. If someone were to ask you, Vaksha, what does this fire burning before you burn independence on? Being asked thus, what would you answer? Being asked thus, Master Gautama, I would answer, this fire before me burns independence on grass and sticks. If that fire before you were to be extinguished, would you know this fire before me has been extinguished? I would, Master Gautama. If someone were to ask you, Vaksha, when that fire before you was extinguished, to what direction did it go? To the east, the west, the north, or south? Being asked thus, what would you answer? That does not apply, Master Gautama. The fire burned in dependence on its fuel of grass and sticks. When that is used up, it does not get any more fuel. Being without fuel, it is reckoned as extinguished. So too, Bhaksha, the Tathagata has abandoned that form by which one described the Tathagata might describe to him. He has cut it off at the root, made it like a palm stump, done away with it so that it is no longer subject to future arising. Deliberated form, reckoning in terms of form, the Tathagata is deep, immeasurable, hard to fathom, like the ocean. Is reborn does not apply. Is not reborn does not apply. Both is reborn and is not reborn does not apply. Neither is reborn nor is not reborn does not apply. The Tathagata abandoned that feeling by which one describing the Tathagata might describe him. He has cut it off at the root, made it like a palm stump, done away with it so that it is no longer subject to future arising. Liberated from the reckonings of form, of perception, the Tathagata is deep, immeasurable, hard to fathom like the ocean. Is reborn does not apply. Is not reborn does not apply. Both is reborn and is not reborn does not apply. Neither is reborn nor is not reborn does not apply. The Tathagata has abandoned that perception by which one describing the Tathagata might describe him. The Tathagata has abandoned those volitional formations by which one describing the Tathagata might describe him. He has cut off at the root, made it like a palm stump, done away with it so that it is no longer subject to future arising. Liberated from reckoning in terms of volitional formations, the Tathagata is deep, immeasurable, hard to fathom like the ocean. Is reborn does not apply. Is not reborn does not apply. both is reborn and is not reborn does not apply. Neither is reborn nor is not reborn does not apply. The Tathagata has abandoned the consciousness by which describing the Tathagata might describe him. He is cut off at the root, made it like a palm stump, done away with it so that it is no longer subject to future arising, liberated from reckoning. In terms of consciousness, the Tathagata is deep, immeasurable, hard to fathom like the ocean. Is reborn does not apply. Is not reborn does not apply. Both is reborn and is not reborn does not apply. Neither is reborn nor is not reborn does not apply. But that ends the actual chapter. With that said, let's go back into the introduction of the chapter. And look at the last pieces. Chapter 9, Part 5, Section 4 deals with Nibbana being not simply the destruction of defilements and in the exalted feeling of psychological well-being. It calls it the state that is unborn, unmade, unbecome, and unconditioned, the existence of which it makes possible deliverance from all that is born. Made, come to be, and conditioned. And chapter 9, section 5, part 5 explains the Nibbana element with residue remaining and the destruction of lust, hatred, and delusion attained by the Arahant while still alive. The residue that remains is the composite of the 5 aggregates that were brought into being by the ignorance and craving of the past life, and must continue on until the end of the lifespan. As to the Nibbana element without residue remaining, the same text says only that when the Arahant passes away, all that is felt not being delighted in will become cool right here. Since there is no more clinging to the 5 aggregates and no more craving for fresh experience through a new set of aggregates, the occurrence of the aggregates comes to an end and cannot continue. The process of the 5 aggregates is extinguished, which is the literal meaning of Nibbana. Finally, chapter 9, section 5, part 6. The Wonder Vakshagata asked the Buddha whether the Tathagata, here signifying one who has attained the supreme goal, is reborn or not after death. The Buddha refused to concede any of the 4 alternatives. To say that the Tathagata is reborn, is not reborn, both is and is not reborn, neither is nor is not reborn, none of these is acceptable. For all accept the term Tathagata as indicative of real being, while from an internal point of view, a Tathagata has given up all clinging to notions of a real being. The Buddha illustrates his point with the simile of an extinguished fire. Just as the fire has been extinguished, cannot be said to have gone anywhere, but must simply have gone out, so that the breakup of the body by the Tathagata does not go anywhere, but simply gone out. The past participle Nibbutha, used to describe the fire that has been extinguished, is related to the noun Nibbana, which literally means extinguishing. Yet, if this simile suggests a Buddhist version of the nihilist's view of the Arahant's fate after his demise, this impression would rest on a misunderstanding, on a wrong perception of the Arahant as a self or person that is annihilated. Our problem in understanding the state of the Tathagata after death is compounded by our difficulty in understanding the state of the Tathagata even while alive. The simile of the great ocean underscores this difficulty. Since the Tathagata no longer identifies with the five aggregates that constitute individual identity, he cannot be reckoned in terms of them, either individually or collectively. Freed from reckoning in terms of the five aggregates, the Tathagata transcends our understanding, and like the great ocean, is deep, immeasurable, and hard to fathom. But that ends chapter 9 and leaves us only chapter 10. So yeah, we're getting closer and closer to the end of this particular volume. Like I said, there's other volumes of In the Buddha's Words, but I only have this one. Do, 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 do. Where was the list of them? Oh yeah, they're in the back here. They have the middle length discourses of the Buddha, the long discourses of the Buddha, the connected discourses of the Buddha, and great disciples of the Buddha. This is In the Buddha's Words, teachings of the Buddha. So yeah. But anyway, with all that said, we'll go ahead and end this episode there. As always, educate thyself. Think, read, study, learn. Someone tells you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources, and it can't be a bunch of tinfoil hat wearing sources or anecdotes thrown together to try to make sources. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, later.